This is the guided practice portion for lesson 2-1 addition properties. And in third grade, we focus on 3 addition properties: the commutative, also known as the order property of addition, the identity zero property of addition, and the associative grouping property of addition. So we're going to go through those types of properties and see what they look like in number sentences or in equations, okay? So in 1 and 2, identify each property. So I'm looking at this first equation or number sentence that I have right here, and I see that we have parentheses, okay? And inside the parentheses, we have groups, grouping. So this is the grouping property of addition. When I group my add-ins together in any way, the answer, called the sum, will remain the same. So over here, if I group together 15 plus 26, and I add them together, $41 is inside my parentheses, okay? And 41 plus 4 equals 45. Over here, if I go ahead and add again what's in parentheses first, 15 plus 4 and I get 19 plus the 26. So over here, I'm going to put 19 plus 26. I still get 45. So on either side of my equation, the answer is still equal to 45. Do we see that? So this is called the associative grouping property. Associative grouping property. Okay. So it's the associative property or the grouping property. No matter how I group my add-ins are 4, 15, 26. Okay. If I group them in a different way, I'm still going to get the same answer. My sum is still going to be 45 on both sides of my equation. Let's take a look at this bottom one down below. It has a 0 there. This is the identity zero property, okay? This is the identity zero property. This is one of the easy ones, okay? Identity zero property. And that's when the sum of 0 and any other number is going to be that same number. So anytime we're solving for the sum, and we solve for the sum when we add, anytime we add with 0, it's our answer, the sum, the answer is always going to be that other number. This is the identity zero property, okay? One that we did not cover would be the commutative order property, okay? And that's just saying that the order of the add-in, so if I have, for example, 5 plus 3, 5 plus 3 equals 8. But if I change the order, the commutative, the order of the add-ins, if I decide to put 3 first and then the 5, my answer is still going to equal 8. And this right here is called the commutative order property. Okay. So these are the 3 different types of addition properties. We have the associative property, also known as the grouping property. We have the identity, also known as the zero property. And then we have the commutative property, also known as the order property. Associative property always has parentheses grouped together, okay? Identity property is always going to have a 0 in the equation or the number sentence, and the commutative is always going to focus on the order of the add-ins switching spots. Now let's take a look at 3 through 5. in 3 through 5, write each missing number. So we're not going to write down the name of the property. We're just writing down what is missing. And I'm going to draw a line through my equal sign, okay? Because whatever is on this side, the value, has to be the same value. It has to be equal on the other side of the equal sign. So this side has to equal 90. We already have a 90 here, so the only thing that we can add to 90 for its value to stay the same as 90 would be 0. And again, this would be the identity 0 property. Down below here, 426 plus 239. I'm going to draw a line on my equal symbol. The value of this has to be the same as the value on the other side. So I notice that I still have my two add-ins that are the same on either side, 239 on both sides. I am missing my other add-in, 426. This exact same number has to be added with 239 in order for the value to stay the same. The value stays the same even though the order of the add-ins is different. This is the commutative order property. And then last, I see those parentheses, a little hint that we're grouping add-ins together. So this is probably the associative grouping property, and I believe it is. Drawing my line on my equation. On this side, I have 2 grouped with something plus 6. And on my other side of the equation, I have 3 grouped with 6 plus 2. So I have my 2's on both sides. I have my 6's on both sides. I'm missing the 3. When 3 is grouped with 2 plus 6, the value is still the same as when it's grouped with 6 and 2 outside. This is the associative grouping property.